I learned something new today.
I heard children don't like vegetables because vegetables, on average, are bitter. And most poisons in nature are bitter. And poisons are much more potent on a small body, such as an infant or child or toddler, than they are on an adult. So that this was an evolutionary resistance to not dying by eating something that was poisonous.
I found this really interesting, right? Because these infants have this aversion to bitterness and bitter tasting things. And I found this highly interesting because I have a high sensitivity to bitter tasting things. I hate anything bitter. Now, granted, I'm a full grown adult now, so I don't have the same reason to have the sensitivity to bitter because it's not a survival skill, right? I mean, even though things in nature are still bitter, low doses of it aren't going to affect me like it would an infant. But come to find out, I was interested to know, well, why do I have still have this sensitivity to bitterness? Because I'm what scientists are called a super taster. I promise you, it's not dirty. It's I'm just saying what the scientists have called it. There are super tasters, there are average tasters, and there's non-tasters. It's about the amount of taste buds I have in a span of a millimeter. Don't shoot the messenger. And because I'm a super taster, I have this gene called TAS2R38, which makes me sensitive to a chemical called propylthiouracil that they use to test the tartness or the bitterness of a person and their taste buds. And I remember doing something similar back in undergrad, right? There was these bitter strips that they had. And what was interesting was before I can even put the bitter strip on my tongue, I could taste the bitterness. So I am super, super sensitive to bitterness, or I just have a whole bunch of taste buds, kind of like an infant does, right? I haven't lost those taste buds. So on top of being a super taster, right, I have a sensitivity to intense flavors as well. I love intense. I love sweetness. I love intense heat. I love hot stuff. Um, but that's the complexity of what's going on in our mouths. So, what are y'all? You and super taster, average taster, non-taster? Can you not? Non-tasters are interesting to me because they can't taste anything. There's a joke there, but I won't say anything. You know what? I'm gonna leave now because you know what? Being a super taster ain't a bad thing. I don't think. Shit.